Hey guys, it's Joe with Inno Tours, and today we're going to talk about how Chicago from the 1830s to the 1870s became one of the fastest growing cities ever in the history of the world. 1837, Chicago becomes an official city, and there's still roughly only a couple thousand people that are actually living in the city itself. But by 1848, Chicago opens up the Illinois and Michigan Canal. You can now take ships from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to the Atlantic Ocean through the heart of the United States. Before, you would have to go around the US, past Central America, and then up to New York. It was a very long and hard journey for a lot of different sailors. So what they did is they now can go the Mississippi River, the Great Lakes, into New York itself, and then eventually the Atlantic Ocean. Everything changed with the Illinois-Michigan Canal. Only a few weeks after the canal opens up, Chicago also lays its very first train tracks. Within 10 years, Chicago becomes the rail hub of the United States and the busiest rail port in the entire world. Not only that, but we have people like Cyrus McCormick inventing the wheat reaper. Now farmers don't have to sit there and manually cut all their wheat. They have a machine that helps them do that. Chicago produces these machines. Chicago becomes the lumber capital of the world. We cut down all of Illinois and Michigan to help build Chicago and really help build the entire Midwest. Also, there are various merchants that come into town like Marshall Field, Potter Palmer, Sears. These are people you've probably heard of that helped build Chicago to a commercial capital at that point. And then also we had the Union Stockyards. At its highest point, over 100,000 hogs and cows every single day were being processed into meat, not only for the country, but for the entire world. Chicago was known as hog butcher to the world. All these various things all happened within this 30-year span, and Chicago's population rapidly increased. By 1837, like I said, there's only a couple thousand people living there. By 1871, over 300,000 people live in Chicago. Its city grew that fast with less than 40 years. But we built so fast and so quick, we forgot a lot of basic necessities like sewage. We had to build sewer lines. All of Chicago at one point was raised about 6 feet above street level that it is today. Literally, they took jacks and they put underneath hotels and they jacked up. They would do a quarter turn per turn, and eventually all of Chicago was raised up in the air. So all this various industries happening around Chicago in the 1870s. The population is crammed onto these wooden streets, these wooden sidewalks. It's very dry summer, and of course, disaster strikes. Next week, we're going to talk about how the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, although a big disaster, really changed Chicago for the better. Until next time, my friends, bye-bye.